Amy coming at you from my clinic space next to Cheeseman Park in Denver, Colorado. I am really happy to be back here, and it was my first day back. I only had 2 patients. I will only be taking 2 to 3 patients twice a week now that I have a newborn, and I am really excited. I'm like, ooh, I still got it, because my patients went really well today, and I love this work, and I love having the niche that I have of harmonizing the mental, emotional, spiritual, and physical manifestations of well-being. So I'll get right to it. My do have permission from a patient to share. I have a patient who's a model patient. When I say model patient, I mean someone who really takes in and follows the holistic understanding of what is being offered as far as how they view and interact with their symptomology. So this is a person who has taken my stewardship that gives the kind of foundational principles for understanding illness in 4 manifestations. And I'll just go right for it. In Chinese medicine, shingles are a symptom of toxic heat or toxic damp heat. What they appear like on the body, if you have never gotten them, lucky you, they are like painful sore blisters that happen here under the rib cage, and they're super itchy and they're like nerve painy. They are related to mouth herpes and genital herpes, which are also both seen as toxic heat or toxic damp heat according to Chinese medicine. So right away, this human contacted me, and they're so sweet. They're like, I'm really sorry, but I know you're still on maternity leave, but I'm in so much pain. And right away, I'm like, oh man, okay, immediately stop. No fried foods, no alcohol, no smoking of any kind, no sugar, no dairy, no meat, no coffee. Pretty much you need to stop drinking and eating anything that would make heat, so no spicy foods, and then up the intake of vegetables, bland vegetables, and green tea. Green tea is like one of the major non-toxicity herbs in Chinese medicine. They put it in a lot of Chinese medical formulas. And she said immediately her symptoms got better, and that she was already listening to her body, and that she wasn't even really craving any of those things anyway. But you take out the factors that are causing the excess heat. It's really hard in America because the American diet is called the Standard American Diet, or SAD. And I do not think it's a coincidence that Universe made the acronym SAD, because it's really effing sad what we put in our bodies every day and what the industry is feeding us every day. All of the toxic Roundup in the corn and the wheat products, that's in everything. In the oils. So yeah, even though cleaning is a fad, there's a reason for it, because this the SAD causes a lot of inflammation in the body. So immediately removing those inputs will help the symptomology like that. Now here comes the emotional spiritual part. The liver's consciousness is anger, or right action, the 2 opposing emotions about it. Anger for like what's gone wrong. She got them on her left side. The left side, where the spleen pancreas is the earth element, which is mother, nurturance. She's angry at her mom. And her mom was in an abusive relationship with her dad when she was a child. And she always thought, oh, my dad's the abuser, my mom's the victim, and was really angry at her dad for a long time. She got the shingles the day after she went to see her therapist, and her therapist was like, so we're always talking about your dad, what about your mom? And then she's like, actually, and she started crying about like all these things that happen when we're children, specifically we're little girls, and we're watching these women who we love take abuse. And why didn't they leave? And what about me? What about my siblings? Like, aren't we important? Oh shit, I had to be her mother when she was in bed, depressed. I was the one trying to feed her. I was 3. Okay, so these are the kinds of things that happen with our repressed anger energy when we don't even realize we're upset, but we're pushing things down because we are never allowed as children in abusive situations to actually say, oh, this is wrong, this is not okay, what the fuck, you know? And so we just end up putting it down. on an even like further note, what if we get punished for speaking out against the abuse? What if like we see something going on and we tell our superior, we tell our parent, we tell our grandparent, and we get silenced, or we get slapped, or we get shushed, or we get gaslighted, or we get told, no, you didn't see that. And then you're like, wait, did I, didn't I? So you start to think you're crazy, so you stop trusting yourself, okay? All of these things feed in to our repression as adults, and when our emotions are not able to be expressed, our bodies will create an outlet for them, aka painful, oozing, blistering, sores. It's real, okay? These things are connected. So because she's a model patient, she saw those connections. She immediately changed her diet, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. She made the connection in her mind, mental, and then she went to go see the homegirl Charmaine from Charm Life Wellness, who is an amazing curandera practitioner, sorceress who practices body talk and curanderismo. And some stuff came up about processing that anger with the mom, and she had an emotional release, which also helped. She also got a lymph massage. Lymph exists in the joints. It's what carries the white blood cells, which are responsible for affecting the immunologic response. So our white blood cells help our body deal with inflammation. So you know, if you go to the MD and they have a high white blood cell count, that's because the body's doing its job fighting off the infection. So they say that if there's too many white blood cells, there's an infection, and then they pathologize you based on the white blood cell count, but it's really your body doing its job. And you need to support those white blood cells doing its job by eating non-inflammatory foods and cutting out all the inflammatory foods and inflammatory people and inflammatory relationships, and literally expressing your inflammation. So then by the time she got to me today, after doing her work and going in and seeing a spiritual practitioner, getting her lymph massage, she came to me today. Some ancestors came through, because there's another guy she's working with who called in these ancestors, and then because of the work I do, we were able to integrate those ancestors present, who were both women who were repressed women, because a lot of the women in our ancestral lineages were repressed and unable to express themselves. So that we did that work in the spiritual realm. And then because I'm a physical practitioner of Chinese medicine, I told her to turn over, and I massaged the places that were connected to her liver on her back. And she also had come in with both of her shoulders aching. And we did a minute or two massage on her, therapeutic massage, tuina, and she, and whatever spiritual stuff I did, and she literally got off the table with zero pain. Now, and when I asked her over the messages if it was okay if I share her story, she said she still had no pain, and she's like, it's amazing all the tools you have. I'm so grateful. And yeah, mental, emotional, spiritual, physical, we cannot just address one aspect. We have to address it all together. When we address all of it together, we heal. The MD told her that shingles last up to 6 weeks or longer. It's been a week, and today she left my clinic with no pain. She came in with a 3. Granted, last week it was a 9 after she saw the home girl. I'm not sure what the numbers are, but she definitely felt better. And then today, her blisters had gone away. She still had nerve pain when she touched, and it was like this achy pain at a 3 just sitting. When she left here, she had zero pain at all, even when she touched, because we worked all of the things. So I just wanted to share that with you. There's a few people that get shingles right around this time, because we're moving into springtime. Spring is the wood element associated to anger, associated to liver. And all of our shit comes up that we've put down, especially anger stuff. So generally, I've actually never known a man who has suffered from shingles, because men are allowed to express their anger. Yeah. It's complex, and it's nuanced, and it's very simple. So one of the things, like, I did send her home with an herbal formula, because there's also herbs that affect all of this to help it continue to go away. and with homework to express her anger, whether that's take a kickboxing class, go to the segunda, to the thrift store and buy plates and crash them somewhere where it's okay to do that, like go scream at a river or something like that, you know? So to be able to express your emotions is part of our healing, y'all. And in a repressed society, especially for women, like when I was a little girl, I was told, "State quieta," or like, you be a lady. And then you wonder why you grow up and you get like shingles because you're repressed, okay? And there are ways to deal with this in the mental, emotional, spiritual, but also the physical. I gave her herbs. I touched her body, okay? So in Chinese medicine, like, it's interesting when people talk about viruses or talk about bacteria, and not to say that they don't have those components, but our bodies are not going to express an illness without the pre-existing environments to express that illness. It's an internally caused thing in Chinese medicine. It's because of what we eat, and how we don't express ourselves. So I hope that that's helpful. I am now back at work. I'm working 2 days a week, and you can DM me if you want to set up an appointment, or go to my website to set up an appointment. I'm also working on package deals where I'm offering I'm offering and expecting a pretty hefty investment up front. You might have to save up for, but this is an investment in your well-being. And I also invite you all to go into your insurance plans, look how much they charge you, look how much that's per year, plus your co-pays, plus even if you get like a surgery, how much you still owe after your insurance. They hide it. They hide it in, oh, it just comes out of my check. And you're like, oh, the insurance takes care of it. I want you guys to know how much the CEOs of these businesses are actually making. And I want you guys to see how much you're actually giving, so that you understand what you are worth and what your wellness is worth and what my work is worth with my expertise and education. And then I want you to invest in yourself so that you will get well. Because people who don't invest in themselves don't get well. Whether that's like, I'm gonna take self-care time, or whether that's like, I'm gonna feed myself good food, I'm gonna cook a good meal for myself, etc., and so on and so forth. So I haven't decided what my packages are gonna be yet, but I'm pretty set on having what I'm gonna call a consistent care package, which will be a hefty investment up front that you might have to save for, but then subsequently for like 2 months or 4 months, whatever our prognosis is, your treatment's only gonna be like $30 or something. And that upfront money is going to go to a complete diagnostic, differential diagnosis, where we have a long talk and a long treatment, and we give a prognosis, and we give dietary advice for your specific presentation. And then every subsequent is gonna be a boom, boom, boom. It's gonna be really good for pain, really good for chronic conditions of the womb, of the organs. Yeah, man, it's time to get really serious, because we can heal. We can heal. Any of you who've been told that you cannot heal have been lied to, or they just don't know that you can heal, okay? So I'm in the business. I'm in the enterprise. It's not a busyness. I learned that from Homegirl Panketsani. This is not trying to be busy all the time in this culture of productivity until you fall flat and die. We are in the enterprise. We are in the movement of healing. And I want you to heal. So that's why I do what I do. All right, so hit a sister up. Thank you for listening. Many blessings. And I hope to connect with many of you soon. Ciao.